to hand switch external rotation press. Doing this 5 times. Then go left. Doing 3 on each side. Hello all, it's May 6th, Tuesday. I don't know if you all noticed, but there's a new kettlebell over here, and it's that one. I've had it for a few months now. My brother gifted it to me, and I didn't open the box pretty much till today. But it's opened. It's an adjustable kettlebell, and it's a kettlebell that can be adjusted from 12 kilos, which is like 25 pounds, up to 20.5 kilos, which is I think 45 pounds. And so it's at 45 pounds right now, and that's probably the weight it's going to stay at for the entirety of the workout. But today my plan is to do an endurance style workout based on drop sets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick 2 exercises. It'll be 1 kettlebell and 1 mace, or 1 club and 1 mace, or something like that. And I'm going to superset them, but the first superset is going to be heavier. Then right after that, I'm going to do another superset of the exact same movements with a lighter weight, which would be a drop set. And then I'm going to repeat that entire thing for 3 to 4 sets. So I'm going to show you the first set of movements. This is my 3rd set of this. I'll probably record 2 sets back to back on camera. So, like I mentioned earlier, there's 40 pounds in the kettlebell, and 45 pounds in the kettlebell. And the first movement that I'm doing is an internal rotation clean to hand switch external rotation press. Doing this 5 times. A lot of rotation, so a lot of core at play. After 5 each side of that, with my 30-pound mace, going to do 8 alternating 10 to 2s on each side, then switch overhand. So I'm going to start with left hand overhand, then do right hand. After 8 each side, switching overhand. After 8 each side, I'm going to repeat the same sequence, but now with lighter weights. So I'm going to do my 25-pound kettlebell, and I'm going to do 10 of the rotational presses. with these exercises, well, especially with like a lot of these kettlebell, mace, and club exercises, the load often, or at least the kind of movements that I'm doing right now, the side of the body that's working alternates between movements. And so what ends up happening is you get these small breaks within the set, and so you can have an endurance element where most people, when they think of cardio or endurance, think of running long distances or the Stairmaster or rowing or something like that. But endurance can be done with weights too, and I think these tools are really good for strength endurance. Some people have a concept of weight training as what's the max weight lifted, but there's a lot to be said for doing an exercise for a long time. So now with the 10 to 2s, I went from 30 pounds to 15, and I'm going to do it for 12 on each side. And then switch over hands and repeat. And then I'm going to repeat the whole thing again. So that was set 3, and now I'm going to jump right into step 4 today, or set 4. Today it's all about endurance, and just keep it moving. One of the things I noticed about myself when I do certain exercises is I tend to lean my upper body back. I'll explain in a second. So what I mean by lean back is to support the weight. I notice myself doing this, which creates an excessive curve in my mid spine, where instead it should be like stacked on top of each other. And to get that, I need to keep my upper abs active. And so I'm staying very conscious of things like that. And no matter what your lifting style is, be it my unconventional stuff, or even like, let's say you do a military press, very often people have a habit of like leaning back, and then after they press they kind of like jerk their head forward. It might not make an immediate change in your body, but when you do it for like 10 years or something, that of like jerking your head forward or like leaning back becomes like a permanent way your body starts wanting to move or stay, and it's not ideal biomechanically. Ideally the spine should be more stacked on top of each other than have like any serious bending. There is going to be a curve in the spine, but it's anything anywhere is where it's extremely exaggerated is kind of an imbalance. Anyway, besides the point, onto the steel mace thing. Switch over. And right into the next part. I did take a longer break than I should have between the initial presses and the steel mace, but I wanted to explain what I was explaining. And then into the steel mace. As you can notice, the sets are super long. There's a lot of muscle groups at play. A lot of reps. Switching over. So that was set 3 and 4, and it's going to be my last sets of this. But yeah, the rest of the workout's kind of going to be like this. But instead of recording 2 sets, I'm just going to record 1 set of each. Otherwise, the video is going to get too long. But yeah, similar concept is what's going to happen. 2 movements, heavy first, then light, superset it. Alright, on to the next thing. So for the next set of movements with the kettlebell, I'm going to do hand switch clean to squat thruster. So looks like this. So going to clean squat thruster hand switch. I'm going to do this 5 times. After 5 each side of that, with my 45-pound club, going to do two-handed outside mills, or let me think. I believe inside mills, and going to alternate hands on each rep. I think there's a spider on me. Okay, whatever. Doing 3 on each side. Doing that move at the 45-pound club is pretty difficult. Then repeat this all over with lighter weights. So I'm going to do it with the 25-pound kettlebell, and instead of 5 reps, go for 8 on each side. So between like the first part and now the second part, 5 reps of squats on each side becomes 10, and now 8 on each side becomes 16. So within one set, I'm doing 26 reps of squats. And 13 reps of shoulder presses. And the whole time with the weight switching around, the abs and core are involved big time. And then I'm going to use the 25-pound club for the second half of the club. And instead of 3 reps, I'm going to go for 6. So between all of this, my heart rate's at like 160. And so I'm burning a ton of calories while lifting weight. And so I'm getting like cardio training while having a resistance training element to it. So some people get scared of losing muscle while doing cardio. But if your cardio has a resistance training element to it, you don't lose muscle. But that doesn't mean don't run. I definitely think running and stuff has its place. But let's say you absolutely hate running. There are other ways to go about things. But yeah, this is what I'm doing. 3 to 4 sets. That was my second. On to the next. So one of the exercises that's really, I guess, what the clubs are known for are pullovers. So pullovers with the clubs are these things where you hold the club, go behind, and then pull back. And you can do it with 2 hands and stuff. Anyway, so it gave me the thought of doing it with the kettlebell, and with doing it with the kettlebell, the thing that changes is you don't have to worry about an overhand or what hand is working. So usually with the club, either you're doing it one hand at a time or there's one hand that's overhand, and usually you have to balance it out depending on what your philosophy is of using clubs. Some people just say use your dominant hand and forget about it. In any case, but when you do it with a kettlebell, you can just grab the sides of it and it's always even, and it pretty much gives rise to a new movement, in my opinion. And yeah, and you moving side to side also feels a little different. So enough talking, and let's do it. So for the first exercise of this set of things, so first I'm going to face to my right, then go left. Doing it 4 times on each side. Oh. Doing it with the 45-pound kettlebell is quite hard. Then with my 25-pound mace, I'm going to do single arm 10 to 2s alternating, and do that for 5 to 8 times on each side. Oh, doing that movement with the 25-pound mace is quite hard. Like, I'm still not fully used to handling the 25-pound mace with a single arm. Then, as with the previous combinations, going with the lighter kettlebell and repeating for higher reps. So I did 4, I'm going to do 8 this time. with the 15-pound mace. I'm going to do 15 reps of 10 to 2s. Throughout this entire workout, I've been doing a lot of reps of just moving side to side, and that's starting to add up. Like it feels like a nice way for the muscles to be worked, but it is like with any exercise, to get past a certain point, it's it is exhausting. Anyway, that was my second set. I'm going to do 1 or 2 more sets. It's getting kind of dark, so I don't know if I'll record juggling, but I don't know. Let's see how fast I get done with this. I'll record something after this. We're going to do a quick kettlebell juggling freestyle session. To finish off, it's getting dark, so won't be able to do it for too long. I'm actually going to start by juggling the adjustable kettlebell. So the weight in this has it comes with a wrench and kind of like, it's not, I don't know what the tool's name is. An Allen wrench? I think that's the name. Anyway, so you unscrew it. There's small plates that go on the inside, and it adds up to the weight. With the other kettlebell, it's just a constant weight. But the way it's distributed, I think, is in a different way. And so it's made to be more evenly distributed. And so I don't know if this is going to flip as good, but I'm going to try. Plus it's double the weight almost. Yeah, it's not ideal to juggle with, and I'm just putting myself at risk if I keep trying to do that. Anyway, let's just do some freestyle with my 25-pound kettlebell, after which I'll probably go on a walk or something. Am I well placed? The kettlebell might go off frame if I throw it high. Let me readjust. Alright, that should be better. Let's get to it. Not bad to start. Kind of lost my flow in the middle there. Let me try to put a solid one together. Like the last one wasn't bad, but it got kind of sloppy at the end and too repetitive. That was alright. I still didn't get everything that I wanted to, but it is what it is. Nice workout, I would say. I'm going to go on a walk for about 30 minutes to top things off. So yeah, that's all for today's video. See you all in the next one.